Here's what most successful people refuse to admit. They didn't build their empire through raw willpower or endless motivation. They discovered something far more reliable, a mental operating system that runs automatically in the background, creating clarity when others see chaos, focus when others feel scattered, and direction when others drift aimlessly. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to install this operating system in your own mind, using a tool that works so subtly, most people don't even realize it's reshaping their mental landscape. Before we dive in, let me establish something crucial. I'm not here to sell you magic bullets or instant transformations. What I'm about to share isn't some mystical breakthrough that will change your life overnight. It's something much more valuable than that. It's a systematic approach to internal architecture that high performers use to maintain mental clarity and sustained focus. The kind of internal foundation that makes everything else in your life run smoother. Think about the most successful people you know. The entrepreneurs who seem unshakable under pressure. The creators who produce consistently excellent work. The leaders who make clear decisions even in complex situations. What they all share isn't superhuman willpower. It's a deliberate approach to managing their internal state. They've learned to create specific mental conditions where clarity feels natural, where focus becomes effortless, and where their mind operates as a precision instrument rather than a chaotic storm of thoughts and emotions. This is what I call mental architecture. Just like you wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation, you can't build a successful life without establishing the right internal conditions. Your external systems and structures are only as strong as the mental environment they're built upon. You can have the perfect schedule, the most sophisticated productivity methods, and crystal clear goals, but if your internal state is chaotic and reactive, none of it will work consistently. The tool I want to share with you today is a 7-minute audio program that I've been using as part of my own mental architecture routine. This isn't some revolutionary discovery or groundbreaking technology. It's simply a structured approach to guiding your brain into deeper states of calm clarity using targeted sound patterns and specific audio techniques. Let me be completely transparent about what this is and what it isn't. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not magical thinking. It's not a promise that your life will transform just by listening to audio. What it is mental conditioning. Think of it like adjusting the lighting in a room. The right lighting doesn't do the work for you, but it makes the work significantly easier. It creates an environment where you can see more clearly and operate more effectively. The audio uses scientifically backed principles to help shift your brainwave patterns into states that support deep thinking, creative problem solving, and long-term strategic planning. These are the same mental states that elite performers deliberately cultivate before important decisions or challenging work sessions. The difference is, instead of spending years learning meditation techniques or complex mental training protocols, you can access these states in just 7 minutes. Now here's what's crucial to understand. This tool isn't your entire system. Your system is still your structure, your habits, your environment, your calendar, your daily routines, and your strategic frameworks. This audio program is simply one layer of that system. Internal state optimization. It helps create the mental conditions where discipline feels natural, where focus feels effortless, and where your mind becomes quieter and more directed rather than scattered and reactive. It's like priming an engine before you drive. The priming doesn't replace the engine, the fuel, or the road, but it ensures everything runs more smoothly when you start moving. This audio program primes your mental engine so that when you engage with your daily systems and routines, everything operates with less friction and greater effectiveness. What I particularly appreciate about this approach is its simplicity and consistency. It's exactly 7 minutes long. No more, no less. You don't need to learn complex techniques or remember complicated procedures. You simply press play and let the structured audio guide your brain into the optimal state. It's predictable, repeatable, and requires virtually no effort on your part. Unlike many other mindset tools in the marketplace, There's no hype attached to this. No metaphysical claims about manifesting reality or attracting abundance through mysterious universal forces. No unrealistic promises about instant life transformation. It's simply this. Here's a structured audio program designed to support calm clarity. That's it. That's all it needs to be, and that's exactly what makes it so effective. This tool is particularly helpful for people who overthink situations and struggle to quiet their mental chatter. If you find yourself mentally scattered throughout the day, carrying internal tension that affects your decision-making, or struggling to maintain consistent focus on important tasks, this could become a valuable addition to your toolkit. It's especially useful for people who want a stable mental starting point each day, who prefer mindset routines that don't require significant effort or complex learning curves, and who want to support their system-building efforts with enhanced mental clarity. The audio helps create internal conditions where discipline stops feeling like a constant battle against yourself, where focus becomes more natural and sustainable, where your mind operates with greater quiet confidence rather than anxious reactivity. It doesn't replace your external structures and systems, but it supports them by optimizing the mental foundation everything else is built upon. Let me also be clear about who this isn't for. This isn't for people looking for magic solutions or instant results. If you're seeking a tool that will single-handedly transform your life without any effort on your part, this isn't it. This is for people who understand that sustainable success comes from systematic approaches rather than dramatic breakthroughs. People who are willing to experiment with tools that provide subtle but consistent improvements rather than flashy but temporary changes. If you're someone who gets excited by dramatic transformation stories and needs constant motivation to stay engaged, you might find this approach too understated. The effects are real and measurable, but they're also subtle and cumulative. You won't feel dramatically different after one session, but you'll likely notice increased mental clarity and reduced background stress after consistent use over time. The audio works by utilizing specific frequency patterns and sound design techniques that naturally encourage your brain to shift into states associated with relaxed alertness and creative flow. These aren't mystical or pseudoscientific concepts. They're well-documented neurological phenomena that occur when your brain synchronizes with certain auditory inputs. Professional athletes, high-level executives, and creative professionals have been using similar techniques for decades to optimize their mental performance. What makes this particular program unique is its accessibility and time efficiency. Instead of requiring years of meditation practice or expensive biofeedback equipment, you get professionally designed audio that guides you into optimal states in just 7 minutes. You can use it first thing in the morning to set a clear mental tone for your day. You can use it before important meetings or challenging work sessions to enhance your focus and decision-making capability. Or you can use it in the evening to clear mental clutter and transition into a more relaxed state. The beauty of this approach is that it requires no special knowledge, equipment, or environment. You simply need headphones or speakers and 7 minutes of uninterrupted time. You don't need to be in a perfectly quiet room or adopt specific postures or breathing techniques. The audio does the work of guiding your mental state while you simply listen and allow the process to unfold naturally. I've been using this as part of my morning routine for several months now, and what I've noticed is a subtle but significant improvement in my overall mental clarity and emotional stability throughout the day. I'm less reactive to unexpected challenges. I find it easier to maintain focus during complex work sessions, and I experience less of that background mental noise that used to make it difficult to think clearly about important decisions. The program was developed by a team of neuroscientists and sound engineers who specialize in audio-based cognitive enhancement. They combined decades of research on brainwave entrainment, psychoacoustic principles, and cognitive optimization techniques to create something that's both scientifically grounded and practically effective. The result is a tool that bridges the gap between academic research and real-world application. One of the things that initially attracted me to this approach was its complete lack of mystical or supernatural claims. There's no talk of ancient secrets or universal energies or miraculous transformations. It's simply this. Here's how specific sound patterns affect brain function. Here's the research that supports these principles, and here's a practical application you can use to optimize your mental state. That straightforward, evidence-based approach aligned perfectly with my preference for tools that work reliably rather than tools that promise miracles. The audio program itself is professionally produced with high-quality sound design that makes the listening experience pleasant and engaging rather than boring or clinical. You're not listening to monotonous tones or robotic voices. The soundscape is carefully crafted to be both functionally effective and aesthetically enjoyable. Many users report that they actually look forward to their daily listening sessions rather than viewing them as another obligation or task to complete. From a systems perspective, this tool fits seamlessly into existing routines without requiring major lifestyle changes or time commitments. 7 minutes is short enough to fit into even the busiest schedule, but long enough to create measurable shifts in mental state. You can listen while having your morning coffee, during a brief break between meetings, or as part of your evening wind-down routine. The flexibility makes it easy to maintain consistency, which is crucial for developing any new habit or practice. What I find particularly valuable is how this tool amplifies the effectiveness of other productivity and performance practices. When your mind is clearer and more focused, your planning sessions become more strategic. Your decision-making becomes more precise. Your creative work flows more smoothly. Your communication becomes more effective. It's not that the audio directly improves these specific skills, but by optimizing your underlying mental state, it creates conditions where all your existing abilities can operate more effectively. For people who struggle with anxiety or overthinking, the audio provides a reliable way to shift out of reactive mental patterns and into more calm, centered states. Instead of trying to think your way out of anxious thoughts or force yourself to relax through willpower alone, you have a systematic tool that naturally guides your nervous system toward greater equilibrium. This can be particularly helpful for entrepreneurs and high achievers who often carry significant mental tension due to the constant pressure of making important decisions and managing complex responsibilities. The program also includes guidance on optimal usage patterns and how to integrate the audio into different types of daily routines. Whether you're a morning person who wants to start each day with enhanced clarity or an evening person who prefers to use it as a transition into more focused work sessions, there are specific recommendations for maximizing the benefits based on your natural rhythms and preferences. What sets this apart from meditation apps or other mindfulness tools is the passive nature of the experience. You don't need to actively meditate, focus on your breathing, or maintain specific mental states. The audio itself does the work of guiding your brain into optimal conditions while you simply listen. This makes it accessible to people who have struggled with traditional meditation practices or who find it difficult to quiet their mind through conscious effort alone. The scientific foundation behind this approach is solid and well documented. Decades of research on auditory processing, neuroplasticity, and cognitive enhancement have demonstrated that specific sound patterns can reliably influence brain function in measurable ways. This isn't fringe science or speculative theory. It's established neuroscience applied through carefully designed audio technology. For busy professionals and entrepreneurs, time efficiency is crucial. 7 minutes represents a minimal investment that yields disproportionate returns in terms of improved mental clarity and reduced cognitive friction throughout the day. When you consider how much time people typically lose to mental fog, distractibility, and suboptimal decision-making, spending 7 minutes to optimize your cognitive function becomes an obviously worthwhile investment. The cumulative effects become more pronounced with consistent use over time. While you might notice some immediate improvements in focus and mental clarity, the real benefits emerge through regular practice over weeks and months. Your brain gradually becomes more efficient at accessing these optimal states, and you may find that you naturally maintain greater clarity and focus even when you're not actively listening to the audio. If you're interested in experimenting with this tool as part of your own mental architecture routine, I've included a link in the description below. I want to emphasize that this should be used intentionally and systematically, not as a magic solution or replacement for good fundamental habits and structures. Use it alongside your existing systems to enhance their effectiveness, not instead of building solid foundations in other areas of your life. The investment is modest, especially when compared to the potential returns in terms of improved cognitive performance and reduced mental friction in your daily activities. Think of it as infrastructure for your mind. Just like investing in quality tools for your work makes you more effective and efficient, investing in tools for cognitive optimization can yield significant improvements in overall performance and life satisfaction. Remember, motivation is temporary and unreliable. Systems are permanent and predictable. Your internal mental state is a crucial component of your overall system architecture. By deliberately optimizing this foundation layer, you create conditions where everything else in your life can operate more smoothly and effectively. Build your life deliberately. Build it systematically. Build it like architecture where every component supports and strengthens every other component. The tools for mental optimization are available. The research is established. The only question is whether you're ready to experiment with upgrading your internal operating system to match the quality of the external life you're working to create.